Hello,
and welcome back or welcome to Books and Crannies.
a book lovers podcast.
That's right.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Danielle. How the heck are you?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. And you all,
How
I guess.
are you guys?
Yeah.
More important. We're off to a really strong start today.
That's pretty huge. What's the difference, you know? I also think I skipped some things. Today, guys, we're talking about The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah, chapters
21 through 30.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But before we do that,
How are
the heck
you?
Are ya? I'm okay. I'm really tired today. Sarah and I are
too.
both like, meh.
Yeah.
And it's like cold and snowy, and I got bullied by a toddler all day. And
Yeah.
I'm just like emotionally tapped out lately.
Yeah, me
you
too.
know?
I feel
like
it.
That's all I've been saying, though, so it's nothing new.
Yeah.
But today was especially exhausting.
Yeah.
But I'm all right.
Well, good.
I planned a trip
Oh, yeah.
for June,
Yeah,
which is exciting. Also a bit daunting to fly with a 2-year-old.
for sure.
A then 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got some books. It was my birthday.
It was. We never even talked about how it was your birthday last episode.
I had a birthday, guys.
You did. You're old.
I turned 31,
Wow.
which is just so super exciting.
Yeah.
And I got books
Yeah.
and a little cutesy book lamp thingy.
That just looks like a blob of light.
Yeah, that's
if
what
you're
it is,
watching.
though. Okay, it's an open book.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I like it.
I want one.
Yeah, but also it doesn't stay open unless it's magnetically connected to something.
Which is really silly.
That's really silly.
Yeah.
My husband was like, I got this weird metal plate. You want it?
Does it like open all the way? Is it supposed to like connect to itself
I don't think
and then
so.
sit upright?
Maybe. But even that, I'm like, well, you would just see pages. I mean, I guess you still just see pages. we could experiment.
We're
with
gonna
this
have to
and
after
find the
this.
answers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine, I
Yeah.
guess.
We're living, surviving.
Yeah.
You're also going to be old soon.
Pretty soon, yeah.
I mean, you're old already.
Fuck off. You're older.
You by a few months.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, I'm fine. I don't have anything to say that's going to be productive, so I'm fine. I'm very tired, and it's snowing, and I have to work in the morning, and I don't want to.
Gross.
So.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, hope y'all are doing well.
Me too.
And thriving more than us.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're okay.
We are. We're
Okay?
fine.
We're going to be
just
fine.
like,
It's a weird life season.
I'm in a slump, and it's going to probably be that way for a while. Maybe
Yeah.
for the next 4 years.
No, we will break said slump.
Yeah.
I feel you, though.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should talk about the book, which
Yeah.
is not any more happy.
Upbeat and happy. Yeah, for sure.
It's getting quite intense.
It is. This section was so good, though.
It was very good. I feel like I have not loved this one as much as the other historical fictions we've read
Yeah.
because it feels pretty slow.
Yeah.
But then this section was like, whoa,
Uh-huh.
all of these things are happening.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, the ending's got to be crazy.
Yeah. I was feeling the same. Like, not hating it, but I wasn't super into it because
Yeah.
I was kind of bored.
I wasn't like devouring it. Like,
But then this section, I was like, I don't want to stop.
I know. The war is getting more intense.
Yeah. People
And
are
shit's hitting
dying.
the fan. People are being taken.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I don't have to.
Yeah.
But I will for reading, I guess.
For sure.
That's part of imagining.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Okay.
I don't know if I should be talking anymore today. So we're going to stumble and trip our way through this.
For sure. Like usual.
Yeah, why not?
It's fine.
Last week,
Yeah.
we ended with Rachel
Rachel and her daughter.
getting their stars
Yeah.
that they have to sew onto their clothing.
To identify themselves as Jews.
Yeah. Yep. And cute little Sophie's like, I'll wear one.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, nah, doggy.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
Sorry.
And then shit just starts getting crazy real
Rachel
fast.
also has a son. I forgot. It's not just the daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that came into more focus.
Yeah.
In this section.
Yeah.
For squirtingly. Ew.
Put it away.
I can't. It's already done.
Okay.
So unless you edit it out, it's there to stay.
Great.
You're welcome. Anyway, this section we hop in. And
Yeah.
I think we can just like do the same shtick of talking about Isabelle and Vianne separately.
For sure.
You know?
I feel like there was a little bit more from Vianne in this section than Isabelle, which is opposite of last time.
Switched gears.
Yeah.
So I think we got to start with Isabelle because she kind of lays context for Vianne's story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hear me out?
I do. I hear. Hear.
Aye.
Yeah.
So Isabelle.
Uh-huh.
After her successful first time bringing airmen to Spain
Through the Pyrenees.
mm-hmm. with all of her crazy underground French resistance safe houses and such.
Yeah.
It's just doing that a whole bunch.
Yeah. She's got like 70 under her belt now.
I
Or
don't
something.
know if it's 70.
There's
but yeah,
a number.
like 20 something.
Yeah.
I think. But 70 sounds cooler.
For sure.
She probably gets to 70.
Maybe.
Maybe. If she doesn't get caught. Because in the beginning of this section, they're like, yo, they are looking at the Nightingale. They're looking for her.
Yeah, they're looking for her.
And they're going to start, like, trying to find our routes and,
Mm-hmm.
like, infiltrate the routes and really try to figure it out. So
Yeah, there's going to be undercover Nazis.
Yeah.
Trying to get in on that action.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I know. It's fine. It is what it is. I got this. I've stayed hidden so far.
Mhm.
And just, like, keeps making these runs.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. Things are changing in Paris. I almost said France.
Damn that prance.
God damn it.
Why you gotta be changing all the time?
I know. But Isabelle, the group that she works with,
Mm-hmm.
the woman, a Nook or whatever her name is,
Yeah.
finds her one day and she's
Mhm.
like, hey, they're looking for women to come work in the police station is kind of what I gathered it to be.
Yeah.
The French police station, because they're in the part of France that is technically controlled by French government,
Mm-hmm.
even though they're very much being controlled by Nazis in turn.
Yeah.
And she's like, you gotta go there and do some things. She doesn't really give much information.
Mm-hmm.
And so Isabelle ends up going to do that.
Yeah.
She gets there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of women. Do you remember this? Or do I need it?
No, that's why I'm saying yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Carry on. Well, she gets to this police station and police guard, policeman hooks her up with a little desk. And there's like hundreds of women in there. And he's like, all right, you are to sort all of the French-born Jewish people from the people who were born not in France.
That's right. Yeah.
Like the Jews who were born in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what the heck? Why?
Why?
And all these women are doing it too. And
Yeah.
she talks to one of them and they're like, I don't know, I'm making money. Like, what can I say?
Yeah.
We're in hard times. Do what we gotta do?
Gotta buy food. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But as she starts doing this, she stumbles upon Paul Levy's name, who is the guy who's in charge of their little resistance group.
Yeah.
And she's
She
like,
shoves his name up her sleeve.
yeah, and bails. She's like, I'm sick. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And runs
Well,
away.
and someone, like, right after she puts it up her sleeve, a guard grabs her
Yeah.
and is like, I don't remember why he grabbed her.
I don't know. Like, what the heck are you doing? Get back to work.
Oh,
And she's
because
like,
she, like, dropped all of the names or something.
yeah.
All the papers on the floor.
Yeah.
And he was like, what the fuck? Lady.
Yeah. Lady.
And she thought she got.
I know. But they didn't find it.
Yeah.
And she says she's sick and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And so she, like, found out what the heck they're doing. I think that was the whole point of her going there to begin with. But they are all speculating, like, why would they be doing this?
Yeah.
Like, why are they looking specifically for Jewish people who were not born in France? Or, like, knowing Paul, he's lived in France forever. Like, these people, they may not have been born there, but they have been in France forever in some cases. And a lot of them, too, are supposedly protected because their spouses or their husbands or whatever are in the war.
Mm-hmm.
And there was
They're
some
prisoners
sort
of war.
Yeah, and there was some sort of, like, agreement that they'd be safe.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know what's going to happen with all this.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up going back to her dad's, and they're the one, like, debating it back and forth. And he's like, can't be anything good, but I'm sure it's fine. Everything's cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no, this seems real sketch. And there was a bunch of buses parked out front of the police station when she was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then while her and her dad are debating this, what the heck happened, Sarah?
They get a note under their door
Yeah.
saying that they're coming to get people.
Mm-hmm.
The
Jewish people not born in France.
The not born in France Jews, yeah.
Yeah.
And Isabel's immediately like, oh, crap, we got to help these people.
In our
we
building.
have a hidey hole that we can put them in.
Put them in our hole.
Get in my hole.
Scoot on in. We'll protect you. At least
there's 4 of you. All of you get in my hole. It's fine.
Yeah. Come on. Squeeze in. It's fine.
Yeah.
And they have a couple of families in mind in the building
Mm-hmm.
and end up running down to one of them before anything starts happening.
Yeah, they get one.
Or they like see buses start pulling up out front and they're
Mhm.
like, oh, go run.
We got to go, yeah.
They go get one family, like a mom and her children,
Mhm.
and put them in the hidey hole.
Mm-hmm.
And then Isabel's like, I have to go get this other family. And her dad's like, no, dude.
There's
they're
no way you're going to
coming."
make it.
And she runs, and sure enough, the French policemen intercept and get
Mhm.
there first.
They're already there.
And they tell her, like, you're coming with us. You're on our list, the woman.
Yeah.
But your kids aren't because they were born in France.
Yeah. And Isabel's like hiding around a corner. They don't know she's there.
Yeah.
And then she pops out and she's like,
Let me take them.
I'll take your kids.
Yeah. And they're like, it's too much trauma. The mom
Mhm.
doesn't want to let them go because she's like, no, they said we were safe.
Yeah.
Even though they're rounding us up right now.
Mm-hmm. And the policeman knows Isabel. He's like, dude, go home.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to get involved in this. I promise.
Yeah. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And so the woman and her kids get taken.
Mm-hmm.
And Isabel, like, goes past that apartment at a later time and it's all been looted. Like,
Yeah.
they made her take important stuff, but then they just went through and took anything of value,
Mm-hmm.
which is so jacked up.
Yeah, it is.
I hate all of it.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So Isabel ends up like running after one of these buses to
Mhm.
see where they're taking them. And they're taking all of these people to a stadium or something
Mhm.
to wait transport to go to German camps.
Yep.
And it's just hundreds, thousands perhaps,
Yeah.
all rounded up in like one foul swoop. And they're planning to do it to all of France over time.
Mhm.
Like it's not just Paris that they're looking at.
Yeah.
So this is like the really meat and potatoes of German camps. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm certain they were established well before then, but now it's like they're getting a lot of pressure from Americans at this
Mhm.
point in different territories like South Africa and stuff. So I'm sure it's like a panic. Like we got to round them up while we can.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all disgusting. I hate the thought of it, even
know.
a little bit.
I know. But then Isabel's story sort of intersects with Vianne's.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about Vianne for a second.
Okay.
So last time we ended up with her having a conversation with Rachel about these stars.
Yeah.
And then we learned that Isabel is going through all of these mass deportations.
Mm-hmm.
And then it hits Vianne's town.
Yeah.
And I think prior to it hitting, we get a little bit of story from Vianne of like, you know, she's still sending care packages to Antoine.
Mhm.
Her and Beck are like relatively friendly and have learned quite a bit about each other.
Yeah.
And like have almost kissed on
Yeah,
tattoo.
they've had a couple moments here and there, but it's made it really awkward also.
Yeah.
Because Vianne's like, no,
Yeah.
get your shit together, Vianne.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make out with Nazis.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But he's like nice to her and gives her attention, and she's lonely, and
And-
that he takes care of them. Like he brings them food, and so I can see where it's easy to like,
Yeah.
you know, trauma bond a little bit.
Stockholm for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's going on there. But like he seems relatively decent, but like how decent can you be? But I also can't imagine every German soldier who signed up to participate had any idea like the
Right.
extent of Hitler's plan.
Right.
So,
Well, and like, you know, once you're in it, you can't just say
you
no,
can't bail,
or
then you're a
they're gonna kill
deserter.
you.
Right. Yeah, so they're both just in a pickle.
Yeah.
And sort of leaning on each other and learning a lot about each other in this
Mhm.
time. And at some point, Vianne goes to see Rachel and bring her extra food because now that Rachel has the star
Mm-hmm.
on her clothing, they can only be in the city for like an hour every day, like
Yeah.
3 to 4. And by that point, all of the
All
rations,
the rations are gone.
Like
Yeah.
they don't get anything.
Yeah.
So Vianne's taking her over some food, of which she got like half a loaf of bread and something else.
Mm-hmm.
I think even on the street, like, she went to the butcher place and, oh, maybe this is a different time. Never mind.
Okay.
Anyway, she has a little bit of food and she shares it with Rachel.
Yeah.
And while she's over there, like, Beck shows up
Mm-hmm.
to her house.
Oh yeah.
and calls her over or something.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I gotta talk to you.
Yeah. And she goes over, and he's like, you need to hide your friend, basically, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tomorrow she can't be there.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Also, he's like, I can't be telling you this. It could ruin my career. So, like, you didn't hear it from me.
I didn't say anything.
Not
Vianne's
a
like,
damn word.
bet.
Roger. Won't say anything. But, yeah, he gives her this heads up that she's got to get Rachel out of her house.
Yeah.
Which is daunting and terrible.
For sure. Yeah.
So they make a plan
They do.
to... I think she considers her cellar in the garage for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're like, no, Rachel has these fake papers.
Mm-hmm.
They could cross the border.
Yeah.
And get out of here.
Get her and her kids out.
Yeah, Ari and Sarah.
Yeah.
So that night,
Yeah.
freaking Vianne drugs Sophie
to leave her home alone. Yeah. She's like, I don't want her waking up alone because she'll
Yeah.
freak out. And
I don't want to take her into danger. So I'm
Uh-huh.
just going to keep her here. And as she's leaving, Beck is like in the front room.
yeah.
And he's like, are you going with her? And he's so concerned about
Mhm.
Vianne. And she's like, I mean, what else can I do? And
Yeah.
he's like, and she tells him her dad's address in Paris. And he's
Mhm.
like, if anything happens to you, I'll make sure Sophie gets there.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
So they go on this journey
They do.
to the border, I guess.
Yeah, Beck also tells them, or her, like, a path they can take.
Yeah.
Behind a place. But then, yeah.
Through the woods.
Through the woods.
You know, no one can find you in the trees.
Yeah. Just become one with the trees.
Yeah.
Tree people.
Yeah.
But what happens, Sarah?
It's terrible. I
It's
don't even
really
want to talk about
terrible.
it.
You tell
It's really
me.
terrible.
It's really terrible.
So terrible.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah. So they get to where they're going,
Uh-huh.
and Rachel leaves
Yeah.
with Sarah and Ari.
Mm-hmm.
But then chaos erupts
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't remember why.
I feel like some guy was trying to get through when he shouldn't have, and
They shot him.
Yeah, he got shot.
And then everyone starts shooting.
Well, and then
or
everyone's
something.
fleeing from
Yeah,
the
there's
front. All
chaos.
the people trying to leave are like, whoa, no thanks.
Yeah.
Start fleeing.
Not worth it.
No. And Vianne's like waiting in the woods to make sure they get there safe. And
Yeah.
when that happens, she's like, over here.
Over here, Rachel's running with the kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
And when she gets to Vianne, Sarah collapses.
Yeah.
She'd been shot
A bunch of times in
through
her
the chest.
Ugh. Just a baby.
Yeah.
And
So they kick Ari out of the wheelbarrow that they were pushing him in
yeah.
to put Sarah in the wheelbarrow and like run back home.
And try to
Vianne's
compress
like,
her
I can
wounds.
save her. I'll save her.
I'll do my best. Let's go. Trying to keep Rachel from like completely losing her shit
Panicking.
before
Yeah.
she can be hidden.
Yeah.
And they make it back to Vianne's, and I mean, Sarah's gone.
Yeah.
And Rachel is obviously in shock and
Yeah.
distraught. And Vianne's like, man, I have to keep it together for my friend. Like, this is, I don't have time to grieve right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, you need to take Ari and hide in the cellar.
Forces them into the cellar. She's like, you have to.
Yeah. There's no
You
choice.
have another child
Yes.
that you have to live for.
Yeah. I have chili willies right now.
Yeah.
And she puts them in there. There's provisions. They'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she buries Sarah
Yeah.
next to the little graves for the babies she lost.
Yeah.
Like miscarriage and otherwise.
No.
Ugh.
And all the while, Vianne is like, how am I going to tell Sophie
Yeah.
that her best friend is gone?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's too heavy.
Yeah.
Poor baby. And she comes back inside, and it's like morning at this point, and she's obviously distraught. And Beck is like, you're back. And Sophie wakes up, and it's clear something's wrong with her mom.
Yeah.
And then I think Vianne moves on to just like take them to down and busy themselves all day.
Mm-hmm.
And when they finally get back, she tells Sophie
Yeah.
and like has her tie a ribbon around a tree branch like she
Mhm.
did for Antoine.
Yeah.
And Sophie obviously has to like grow up way quicker, and she can Vianne can like see it in her that she's way more mature than she should be, and like
Yeah.
just having to deal with so much, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
But then it just gets worse.
It really does. Truly.
Yeah. So that same day, she sends Sophie inside.
Yeah.
and goes to check on Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing had happened. They thought that, like, that day, that morning, there was going to be giant raids throughout the town, but nothing has happened yet.
Yeah.
And so Rachel, or Vianne, thinks it's okay to, like, check in and let Rachel take a shower and, like, clean up the baby and get his diaper and whatever.
Yeah, because Rachel's still covered in her daughter's blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. But it's not okay.
No, it sure isn't.
There's a bunch of freaking SS
Uh-huh.
waiting.
Yep.
Outside of their gates.
They pull right on up.
Yep. And they take Rachel.
Yeah.
And freaking Vianne, like, demands to go with them.
Mm-hmm.
She, like, goes in the car with them to see where they're being taken.
Yeah.
And they take all of these non-French Jewish people to the train station to be carted off. And Rachel's like, you need to take Ari. Like, he's not on the list. You need to take him and you need to go. And
because he was born in France.
Yeah. And so Rachel gets on the freaking train. And while all this is going down, Vianne sees Beck, and he has a whip by the side of the train, like, keeping all these people in line.
Yeah.
And it's like true colors of him. And I'm like, well, I don't know what else you expected. Like, he's got a job to do.
Yeah.
A fucked up job, but, like, job nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you could not be a shitty person.
It's true. It's true. But, like, it's between your own life or theirs, I feel like, in a lot of this situation.
Yeah. I just don't want to sympathize with a Nazi.
That's fair.
I get it, but I don't, you know?
I understand. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's all pretty gross.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, clearly it wouldn't be super effective is a better word. I was thinking of, like, ineffectual and the opposite.
Yeah.
Anyway. For, like, individual Nazi soldiers to stand up to what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't make a difference.
It's not going to make a difference.
There's going to be so many, like, hardcore Nazi believers that, like, lost in the crowd.
Yeah. Too real.
I know. But anywho, so now Vianne has a second kid.
Yep. And she's got to figure out how to get fake papers for him.
Yeah, because I think Beck says something later about how, like, it won't stop at the non-French born Jewish people.
Once
like,
all of them are gone, it's going to continue.
I don't remember what it's called. They have, like, a whole mission name. Something about wind and spring and something. Oh. I don't know. And, so now she's got Ari.
Yeah.
And she's got Sophie, and, like, she's been tasked sort of with caring for Ari while Vianne is out getting their rations and stuff. Mm-hmm. And through all of this, she's learning about how the German soldiers are going to occupy the French-controlled part of France. Yeah. And, like, it's they're moving fast. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, they have a fire under their ass to be doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah. And it's not good.
No, it's not.
But
it's
then...
real bad.
It's real bad.
Yeah.
I think, does Beck give her papers for Ari? And, like, say he needs to become your son or something?
I don't remember where she gets the papers from.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Okay. I think now we have to jump to Isabelle.
Okay.
So, Isabelle, after all these mass deportations and stuff, is still running missions and writing letters and whatever.
Yeah. Doing her thing.
Yeah. Being a boss. And she ends up back in Carabo, which is where Vianne is. Mm-hmm. And they have a big meeting coming up or something. And she gets to see Henry, which is the original guy she was working with. Yeah. And he's, like, super stoked to see her and whatever. They're going to have a meeting to talk about all of the changes that are happening with the Germans. Yeah. And on the way to the meeting, she sees an American plane bombing. And it's downed.
Yep. And she sees the parachute flying on down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she's like, wow, we're super close to Germans, and I don't have a lot of time. And she, like, sprints out there. Yeah. And buries his parachute.
Drags him because he's been injured.
Yeah. And then she starts hearing voices, but it ends up being a couple people in the group. Uh-huh. And she's like, I got a place we can take him. Yeah. And she takes him to fucking Vianne's cellar.
Yep. Gaetan is there, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Gate is there.
Yep.
Yeah, he came to meet all of them. I don't know. He's doing gate and stuff. But they take this guy to freaking Vianne's cellar.
Yeah, which is like,
it's
listen,
there's a soldier belayed there.
Yeah.
Billeted? I don't remember.
It's belayed.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and why? Well, yeah. Why would you risk your sister and your niece?
Yeah.
Knowing that there's a German soldier belayed in her house.
Yeah. Also, like,
Ugh.
freaking Henry's hotel or whatever is one of y'all's safe houses.
Yeah.
Like, there's German soldiers and stuff who frequent it, but they must have some underground way to do things. So, like, come on. There's already a safe house here.
Yeah.
God.
Jeez.
So they take him to the cellar.
Yeah.
And Gaten and Henry and someone else leave
to go get a doctor.
Or
medical supplies or something.
Clean up. Do something.
To try to save this pilot.
And leave her with him. And she tries to start patching him up, but he gone.
He did.
There's no saving him.
No.
So now you just, like, put everyone in danger for really no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And, yeah. So on Vianne's side of things.
Yeah.
Freaking
Beck comes home and he's pissed.
He's in a rare form.
He's big mad
Yeah.
because he can't find this down pilot.
And they're blaming it on him for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it was so close to the house.
He's incompetent, I guess.
How dare you, specifically, out of all of our soldiers,
not
him
be
get
able
away.
to find this pilot. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, I found his fucking parachute, but where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Somebody must have hit him.
Yeah.
And he tells Vianne all of this, and she's like, I don't know. And he has to go into town and perform all these searches, whatever. Ends up leaving.
Yeah.
And she goes outside for some reason. I don't know. And realizes that the car over the cellar has been moved.
Yeah, there's tire tracks. She's like, what the
heck? She thinks it's Rachel.
Which is funny that she sees the tire tracks and is like, oh, the car moved. You just put Rachel in there. Yeah.
Like literally the day before. Yeah, I don't know. And she thinks it's Rachel having escaped and like went there.
Yeah, and she's all excited.
Yeah. And so she pulls out the car.
She's like, Rachel, it's
like,
me.
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah.
And it's not Rachel.
It's obviously not Rachel.
Obviously
it's
not.
Isabelle with a dead pilot in her cellar. Yeah. And Vianne's mad.
Vianne is
rightfully.
Pissed. She's like, how fucking dare you?
Yeah.
You put all of our lives in risk. Like, you need to be out of here by tomorrow morning.
I never want to see you again.
You're not welcome here ever again.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
You turd muffin.
And Isabelle's like, I mean, fair, honestly. But also, damn, sister.
I love you.
I love you. Yeah. So Isabelle's still down there. And she, like, Vianne goes back to the house, and very shortly after that, Beck returns. And he's still all sorts of agitated.
Yeah.
And he's like, I looked everywhere. What am I supposed to do? And then he's like, wait a minute, I haven't searched here.
I'm going to search your house.
And
she's
Vianne's
like, what are you doing? Settle down.
I would never lie to you.
I wouldn't do that to you.
And there's nothing here, I promise.
And he searches the whole house.
Sure
and
does.
Doesn't find anything.
He's like, are you a liar?
Yeah.
She's like, no. Even though now she has to be. And so he starts going outside. He ends up going to the freaking garage. And he, I think, notices tire tracks.
Yeah, because he says, he's like, you mentioned a cellar once upon a time. And so he knows there's a cellar in there.
Yeah, when they were talking about getting Rachel out, she had mentioned a cellar or something. Yeah, so he notices it. They ended up, he moves the car, opens the cellar door, and she's all like, no, wait. And then as soon as it's opened,
Vianne hits him in the head with a shovel.
And 2 shots go off.
2 shots.
And Vianne's like, oh my God.
Aya.
Beck falls down dead. Beck falls down dead.
Yeah. Isabelle shot him straight through the heart.
And
with a shotgun.
Yeah. And Vianne's like, I killed him because I smacked him upside the head with a shovel. Like, and half of his
hanging
face
off
is
of his
missing.
face.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. And she's like, damn, I kind of like that guy. But like my sister, Nazi soldier.
Yeah.
My sister. Which one's it gonna be? And all for a dead pilot.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, like the dude didn't even freaking live.
Could you have lived?
It would have made a bigger difference if he lived.
We could have at least done something after this. God, guy, how dare you be dead?
God,
That's fucked up, man.
stay alive better next time.
Poor guy got shot down in his aeroplane. Anyway, and that's
not funny.
No, it's really not, guys. We gotta laugh through the darkness.
Yeah.
And then Henry and Gaten and everyone show up.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And as soon as they show up, Isabelle passes out because
Collapses.
dun dun dun, she's been shot too.
She be shot.
Straight through the shoulder.
Yep.
And Vianne is like, oh my God.
I need to take her
My
inside
sister.
and patch her up. And they're like, you literally cannot do that. In
Yeah.
a home that now a missing soldier was belaying.
Uh-huh.
You can't have a person with the fucking gunshot wound and
Yeah.
like suspicious papers. Like, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
And they have a coffin ready because they're planning on putting the pilot,
Mhm.
airman,
Yeah.
air pilot,
Uh,
in it to transport him away.
yeah.
But they end up putting Isabelle in the coffin to get her across the border
Mm-hmm.
and bury Beck and the soldier, I think.
Yeah.
But Vianne insists on following them to the border, and they do get Isabelle out safe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which, why would you want to do that again?
I don't
You just saw your
know.
best
You don't wanna
friend's
be
daughter
there.
get shot at the border.
golly, I guess she
Now-
like doesn't quite trust them.
It's true.
But as
yeah.
soon as they come,
Especially Gate. Oh, because she says to Gate, like, I know you. You're the guy my sister told me about that left her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, and
I don't
Henry is
trust
the one
you.
that she supposedly fell in love with and ran
Uh-huh.
away with. So now Vianne's putting all these pieces together of like,
Yeah.
oh shit, my sister's a baddie
Uh-huh.
and has been doing crazy shit all this
whole
time
and
didn't
hiding it
say
from me to protect
anything.
me.
Oh my god, I need to be brave like her.
And the last thing I said to her was, I never want to see you
I
again, and
hate
now she's
you,
going to
You
die.
dumb bitch. Yeah. There's a lot going through Vianne's mind.
Yeah.
So we have a split off now. Where do
Mhm.
we want to go?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Also,
Oh,
I'm just going to throw this out here right now because I don't know when it happens.
okay.
There is a little chapter from old Isabelle
Mm-hmm.
who we learn she got this invite
Yeah.
to this flag celebration for people from the French resistance.
Uh-huh.
But then we learn in this chapter that it's in honor of her
Mm-hmm.
and all
In
of the
honor
airmen
of the
she
Nightingale.
saved.
Yeah.
My
And
goosey pimples came back.
She decides to go.
Yeah.
She calls her son and leaves a voicemail or something about, like,
I'm
sorry
going.
I lied to you.
Yeah, because he doesn't know anything about her war history.
Yeah. I'm going to Paris. Love you.
Yeah.
Sorry I lied.
Sorry. You might figure it out one day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, he loves a false version of me because
Mhm.
she, like, left France and never looked back. Like,
Yeah.
tried to pretend like that life didn't exist. Yeah, she's being honored.
Yeah.
Old Isabelle. Okay.
Cute.
Well, I think Isabel's is pretty fast.
Okay.
Isabelle wakes up.
Yeah.
She's alive.
She is. She's okay.
And
She's, like,
Gate's there.
Can't, take people across the Pyrenees for a couple weeks, but
Yeah.
she's okay.
She's gonna
She's
heal
gonna
up
be
a bit.
okay.
She's gonna be all right. And she's in a safe house with
Mhm.
good old Gate.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hey, baby,
I love you.
I know you love me and I love you. And they have this conversation without saying those words.
Uh-huh.
But they're like, we're all going to die, basically. And we don't know when our last day is. And
Yeah. And Isabel's like, I want you to be the first man in my bed.
yeah. And he has reservations because he doesn't want to, like, become attached or have her become too attached. And then
Mhm.
they die and whatever. But then they just, like, bang for a whole week.
For a whole week.
They just spend a week in bed together.
Get it?
I love that for them.
I do too.
Cute.
Ugh.
Yeah, and after they bang for a whole week, clearly they love each other.
Yeah.
But, like, they won't say it out
They
loud.
won't say it.
It's jinxing it.
And every time they kiss, it's like saying goodbye.
Uh-huh.
Because they never know when they're going to die.
I guess, in friggin' World War II war zone.
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Come on.
Especially in the line of work.
Yeah.
You
no.
know?
They're
But-
fine. They're safe.
But they got to get back to work.
Yeah.
They got shit to do. And we learned that Gate is going to join a guerrilla warfare group and be, like, in charge of explosives and shit. Like, he's not just going to be pulling strings in the background anymore. He's going to fight.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't know when or if I'm ever going to see you again.
Yeah.
because I'm going to go put myself in more danger than I have been.
Bigger danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might get blown up, so love you.
My legs might be gone next time you see me. It's not funny.
Silly.
Yeah, but they end up going back. Isabelle has to go back to the Madame, the lady in the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
The one she encountered before.
Yeah.
To do more work, and Gate joins her for that. And, you know, they have a last bang sesh, pretty sure, in the mountains or something weird.
Yep.
But she has to get back to work. They all do.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we hear from Isabelle in this section.
I think you're right.
But then Vianne.
So
now Vianne is dealing with the fact that Beck is dead. And within a couple days, soldiers show up.
Yeah.
And she has, like, prepped Sophie and said, listen, if I don't come back, like, they have some plan in place.
Oh, Ari is your brother now, and his name is
Daniel.
And
they make Ari repeat, like, my name is Daniel. And she's like, and I am your mom
I'm
now.
your mother.
Your mom's never coming back. And
yeah.
she, like, has to tell him that to get him to comply. But then he starts acting like it's a game and leans into it. But, like, poor kid.
I know.
God
it's
damn.
terrible.
It's terrible.
Oh.
But she gets taken in for questioning. And basically she's like, I don't know. He came talking about this down pilot.
And how he was really mad that he couldn't find the pilot.
Yeah.
And he all of a sudden said, I know where he is, and left, and he never came back.
With his motorcycle, conveniently. Yeah. And they kind of let her off. Like, it doesn't take much.
I think it was the guy who was questioning her was like, well, good, I need a new place to live.
Yeah.
So I'm moving in.
Extra creepy.
He's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good vibes at all.
I don't know how to say his name. So
Richter or something?
No.
I don't know. I feel like that's somewhere in my brain.
Sure.
Anyway.
It was like for her at the end.
Yeah. All of the, like, German titles.
Yeah.
And names are interesting.
They're a lot. And they're long.
They're very long. Yeah. But she has a new, worse soldier coming to belay with her now.
Yeah.
But I think, well, she goes home. He shows up shortly after. Moving in. He's kind of creepy. And she told Sophie, like, don't interact with him, like, as little as you can.
He's not Beck, so.
He's not a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
He's not going to help you. And then he tells her, like, you need to cook me a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Like, after a week or so has passed, we're going to occupy the rest of France with me and my buddies, so you got to cook us a nice dinner. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And goes to town to get rations, does the usual thing, and runs into another group of, like, mass deportations. And there's a woman she knows getting deported. And this woman is like, please take my child.
Take my child, please.
And this is a child.
She has both kids with her. She has an older kid and a younger kid. And the older kid goes with her.
Yeah, the older kid refuses to leave her.
Yeah.
But she gets tossed another kid. And also during this, like, she's gone to town a couple times with Ari/Daniel to like tell people that she adopted him from one of Antoine's relatives.
Yeah. And at some point she did get papers for him. I don't know when that happened, but
I don't either. Yeah. But anyway, she gets this new kid.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with another kid? I can't take him home.
I have a friggin' evil Nazi in my house.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she does actually take him home. And the officer or the guy asks about it. And she's like, oh, this is like his friend or his mom got murdered recently. And he's like, take him to the orphanage. Like, get him out of here.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I don't know if they're going to take him. But she goes to this orphanage and it's a church. And she knows the woman in charge of it. And she asks to speak to her. And is like, I need a place to hide this guy.
Yeah. And the mother is like, well, shit. If you're going to bring me one kid and we're going to put ourselves in danger, you might as well bring me more.
I know.
So here's a way to do that.
She's like, I could have more room with for Jewish kids.
Yeah.
Here's a way to do that. I'll get you in contact with this guy who knows other displaced families. And because Vianne also is like, I can get him papers, even though she's not quite certain that she can.
She does know, because the guy who gave her the papers for Ari was like, you know where to find me if you need more.
Did she go? It was Henry. Did she go to Henry for Ari's papers?
She did, yeah.
Okay.
I forgot it was Henry, yes.
Yeah.
Because he, like, stuffed him in a loaf of bread, and then there was an encounter with the Nazi that's delayed
right.
with her now, and he took the basket, and...
Yeah, you're right.
She was like, kids got tuberculosis, and he was like, ew.
Yeah. She just keeps using sickness as an excuse, which I love. And I'm like, it's legit, because I'm sure all of these people who are, you know, malnourished or sick all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So she's working with Henry now, who is part of the French Resistance.
Yeah.
Of which Isabelle works for, etc.
Yeah.
Which is super sick.
Way to go, Vianne.
I know. And the mother of the, you know, Holy Mother. She's like, we're a team now. Like, we're going to make something different.
Oh, and you've got to have a job here so that it, like, makes sense for you to drop off kids. So you're a teacher.
And you get money now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Vianne's joining the resistance.
Things are looking up.
Saving children, getting paid for it.
Yeah.
The Americans are coming in hot, making the Germans move with so much force that it's like all very abrupt and intense. And shit's getting weird.
Yeah.
And I love that Vianne's looped in on it now too.
I do too.
And
I have
baddie.
theories now.
Okay.
After talking to you, I'm like, I wonder if the old lady that we're reading about is Vianne, and Isabelle died because she told her son, I'm sorry I lied to you. Maybe that's Ari. And she's been lying to him, saying his mom died this whole time or something. I don't know.
But I feel like the old woman, her identification card was Gervais, which is what Isabelle goes
That doesn't
by.
mean that Vianne couldn't take over her identity.
True. But, I mean, the old woman chapter sort of talks about how she completely up and left France and had a boyfriend or something. I don't know. I mean, I think
either.
she,
it's
like...
It's just a theory.
Yeah, maybe. Which sister is it?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure it's Isabelle, but my brain
but
just wants to crack it.
Yeah. Wants to
make shit up.
Plot twist.
Yes.
Yeah, but things are getting hairy, man.
Yeah, they are.
And more intense. Is there anything else? I think that's all.
I think that's pretty much it. I know. I feel like we left this section with Gaten telling Isabelle that he was going to be a gorilla.
Okay. A silverback.
What a funny sentence.
Yeah. So shit's getting crazy, guys.
It is. This section was like went real dark and then is kind of looking up towards the end, which is good.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, it has to end relatively well.
I will say I'm happy that Beck wasn't the one who killed Rachel.
Yeah.
Because we speculated on that last episode.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I didn't hate Beck, but also he's the enemy in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Pick a Nazi over your sister?
Yeah.
When he has an obligation to the other Nazis?
Yeah.
Come on.
I hated him, but also had sympathy for him.
I was
in
suspicious
a way,
as hell of him.
For sure.
Like, it felt like a nice guy ploy.
For sure.
Rather than being, like, legitimately...
An actual nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's getting quite juicy. I'm excited to round it out. And next week we will be reading the rest of it. So chapters 31 through the end.
Yes.
So read along with us, obviously.
Oh my God.
And tell us what you're thinking right now if you're reading with us, because we'd love to hear it.
Yes.
But do we want to do a quick rapid fire what we're reading right now?
Well, sure.
Sarah's got like 4 million books to talk about, so you should, I guess, start.
It's only like 10.
4 million. Same difference.
So this week, or these last 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is why there's so many. I finished 7 whole books.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Whatever.
So the first one was in progress last week, I think. The Lake of Lost Girls by Catherine Green. I rated that 4 stars. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember it now, but, you know.
Heck yeah.
And then I listened to Forced Bonds by Jay Bree, which is the 4th book in the Bonds That Tie series.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave that one 3 stars, which is right on par with the rest of the series. I listened to Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is the 2nd book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series.
Heck yeah.
And I gave it 5 stars.
Oh my God. Round 2.
I listened to also When She Was Me by Marley Bush. And I gave that 3 stars. It was fine.
Okay.
I listened to What Have You Done by Sherry LaPena. I gave that 3 stars.
All of the audiobooks.
And then I also listened to the Dungeon Anarchist's Cookbook by Matt Dinman, which is the third book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series.
Did you give that one a 5?
And I gave it 5 stars.
Oh my gosh, it's maintaining.
And I'll let you tell the people my last one.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm also currently reading, what is it called?
What is it called?
Hold the phone.
I'm holding. I can't.
The War of Two Queens. I'm currently reading by Jennifer Armentrout, and I read 318 pages.
Shit, yeah.
And that's the fourth one. Yeah, the fourth one in the Blood and Ash series.
Hot damn, you're making quick work.
So,
well, sick. Well, together we finished Onyx Storm by
we did.
Yarrow. So I gave it a 5-star. What about you?
I also gave it 5 star.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. For sure.
We have to talk about it. We haven't talked about it
at
all.
I know. You and I haven't even talked about it outside of recording.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the ending was insane.
It was.
Okay, so that. And then I also finished listening to my 33-hour audiobook, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini.
Uh-huh.
I gave it a 3.
Okay.
3.5.
Yeah.
I should not have spent that long listening to it, but it is what it is. And then I also finished Yellowface by R.F. Kuang.
Okay.
Gave that one a 3 as well.
Okay.
It was not a good couple of weeks for reading, but I am reading Phantasma by Kaylee Smith now. I'm like 300-something pages in, and I'm really loving it. And I just started listening to Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is my first Emily Henry book.
Okay.
But I wanted an easy listen after that fucking wild-ass audiobook.
For sure.
So I'm probably 30% of the way through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just checked out a romance on Libby because I was like, I feel like I need a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I needed something fast.
Light. I also listened to a lot of like thrillers this last couple weeks because it was just like easy.
That's
you know, quick.
Yeah. I wanted something light and breezy.
Yeah.
And fast.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to hear what you think of that one because I've been wanting to read an Emily Henry book.
Me too. People are all up in arms about her.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Yeah, I have one right here.
Happy
place
at the thrift stores.
Yeah.
So
we keep picking them up. Well, you know, when we first started on TikTok, we'd see all these book talk books and be like, well, we better gather them all before we got like really hardcore.
Yeah.
I mean, we were reading, but like, were we reading? And now we're like reading. You know what I'm saying? And we're like, ew.
Now I just like feel like I know what I like better.
Yes.
Like I know for a fact that I do not love romance.
Yeah, and I don't want to waste my time when I have like 4,000 million books to read.
But sometimes you need a lighthearted, easy palate cleanser. And like I don't love thrillers, but it's something that just like resets my brain.
That's fair. I feel like I am pulling out of my reading slump, but I've definitely been slumping beginning of this year. I just cannot get into much.
I am on a roll, and I've been reading all good books. I'm scared for the end of the year. I'm like getting all the good books out of the way.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you'll be okay. You just gotta choose wisely.
I hope so.
Just like pilfer from shit that I've read that you haven't. If you start feeling like you can't find a good one,
for sure, yeah.
That's a good thing about us.
Yeah,
you know,
we have very similar
taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
I also, what was I gonna say? Oh, I can only listen to like very specific kind of books on audio. Yeah, like it has to either be hilarious or romance or a thriller. Like anything outside of that I really struggle to pay attention to on audiobook.
So fair. I feel like a big part of my issue with To Sleep in a Sea of Stars was that. Yeah. Because it's so dense and so fucking long, and I don't actually know if I know what happened. So
that's fair. Yeah. I can't do fantasy on audiobook. I really struggle with fantasy because I just don't retain it as well, you know?
That's fair. Yeah. And Ethan, even today, my husband, I came home and he...
What?
I know. In case nobody knows that. I came home and he was listening to his book on audio because he's meeting with his friend to talk about the book they're reading together tonight. And he stopped and he was like, do you actually retain things when you listen to audiobooks? And I told him, I was like, I don't pick books I care to know anything about. Like, I pick ones that I'm okay with forgetting. Like, if I'm really excited about a book, I'm going to read the physical copy. Like, I can't, or an ebook, whatever. But, and he was like, okay, because I feel like it's just way harder. So I was like, yeah. But it's good. if you want like an easy breezy.
Yeah.
Something that you don't have to focus too hard on.
One of the books that I finished in these last 2 weeks, I had to listen to the last 5 chapters like 4 fucking times because I was listening to it at work and at the boutique, not at Great Clips.
Cutting people's hair.
I'm just
Shut
like, don't talk to me. But anyways, I still don't know what happened at the end because it just like
yeah, over the head. Yeah. Well, anyway, what the heck are y'all reading? If you want to hear more about that long ass list of books, we kind of just started going into it. That's sort of what our check-ins are like, but more.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn more about the books that we don't read for the podcast but are reading, go to our YouTube channel.
That was a lot of words.
Weird way to say that. And you can find us on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram at Books and Crannies Podcast.
Yeah.
We would love to have you.
Yes.
And please subscribe and like and follow and do all the things that you're supposed to do on the internet.
Yeah, and if you're listening on a podcast platform, would you please leave us a rating?
Please.
We would really love you.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it big time.
Yeah. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
In case Danielle didn't say that.
No, I did not.
Great.
Yeah. So
that you get notified when we
post,
upload.
Yeah.
All our videos.
Yeah. Yes, all of the above.
Yeah.
And again, chapters 31 through the end of The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah next week.
Whoop whoop.
We'll see you then. We love you.
We can't wait. Love you.
Happy reading.
Happy reading.
Okay,
bye.